So let's do it. Let's go for it. WrestleMania. Start with Cena and Cody Rhodes. Cena wins the WWE title at WrestleMania. So we're going to do our reviews first, and then I got a couple questions for you guys about it. So storyline number 7 on our WrestleMania Night 2 review. By the way, we did a blog review of everything already. That's in the description below. Thumbs up, thumbs down for every storyline. We've been doing that on our channel, on our YouTube posts. Go check it out and go check out all our reviews. But here we are. So John Cena breaks Ric Flair's record for most major wrestling titles, defeating Cody Rhodes in the main event of Night 2. So our reviews, what did you guys think of it? This is our review system. By the way, if people aren't familiar with it, this is our basic thumbs up, thumbs down review system and how many points are given for each review. And me and Robert, we gave this 3 points. We loved it. Vlad, a thumbs up. He liked it. Okay, so still not a very high score for such a momentous occasion. The main event of WrestleMania. So you know what? For this one, since this is the big thing, I should go through the finish. So let's go through the finish of this.
Sure.
And let's give comments. If you want to blurt out stuff while I'm going through the finish, go ahead, and then I'll give you guys time to talk about this in a minute. This will be one of the ones that we probably go more in depth about, and the other ones we'll probably gloss over, really. So let me pull up the TV. Here's John Cena. So this is him coming out, and here's Cody. He had a cool mask, right? The mask that opened up. Cool. Yeah, I never seen that one. That was new. Here's them in the ring. But I'm jumping to the finish. All right, so Vlad said they had somewhat of a mediocre match in his comment. So whatever, I'm skipping over it. A lot of false finishes because I'm jumping all the way to Cena's 4th AA. So he's hitting a 4th attitude adjustment. And again, Cody kicks out. So kick out Arama here. But it is the main event of WrestleMania, okay. And then Travis Scott's music hits, and everyone knew what it was because it's the same song they've been playing over and over and over again.
Oh, gosh.
The crowd did pop, though. The crowd went, wow, so, okay. So Travis Scott's coming out. The first sign of anything, because everyone's like, what the hell's going to happen? Where's The Rock? Where's Travis Scott? These guys who haven't showed up on the show since The Rock and Cena attacked Cody. So here's Travis Scott, and he fancies himself the hardcore champion. So he he has the hardcore belt, which is a defunct belt. But you know what, Vlad? I can buy that. It's not a belt that's in circulation, and if he considers himself the hardcore champion, okay, let's see him come prove himself and come be hardcore. All right, so Travis Scott.
Wait, what? You buy Travis Scott as
of right now. Well, look, okay, let me just say first off, going into this review.
Skinny, 100-pound guy you buy as a wrestler. Come on, get out of here, bro. Come on.
Well, listen, before I start this review, I'll just say, I'm not going into this with any previous, thought of Travis Scott. I never liked him or hated him. I don't know who he is.
I actually don't know him as well, except for what you guys have said about him. I don't know.
I don't care. I don't know if he has personal things that people don't like. Apparently, a lot of people don't like him. But,
a lot of people.
Okay, so I don't really care. To me, he's just a person who's coming out. He's a new character. Apparently, he's The Rock's friend. So The Rock's sending this guy out.
Apparently.
And he's, I don't know. You say he's small. I think he's a pretty rugged-looking dude.
I mean, okay, if you compare him to an average guy, okay, but when you compare him to a pro wrestler in the WWE,
yes, exactly,
he's not a rugged-looking guy.
Well, look, let's just talk about the whole Travis Scott thing right now because Vlad, I think this is a thing that bothers you that he's involved in this.
Not so much that he's involved, but clearly there should have been a spot for The Rock and not Travis Scott. I don't know what kind of. Should I get into it? Or should I hold on?
What the spot? The spot at the end?
Just the finish, the disaster.
The finish. Well, you just don't think you don't think he should have been in this. You don't think you think it should have been someone else.
I mean, he could have been in it, but in some form, but not as the main guy. It was a spot for The Rock. That's who should have come out because that's how this whole thing got off the ground, anyways. Now, I don't know what kind of shenanigans were going on backstage, but clearly there was something. I mean, I'm not going to go into it because I don't know. But clearly the fact that he wasn't there in any of the build-up, with The Rock, and then he wasn't there at WrestleMania, clearly something was wrong. Something was wrong backstage.
Really? You heard all this or what?
I just think so, because it doesn't make sense otherwise. I mean, it's just common sense.
I don't know. I don't think The Rock thinks he needs to be out there. Really.
But why would he send Travis Scott then? Then why is
he's a celebrity? Like at this point, I think they want celebrities involved in major angles in WWE, and they're willing to train them. Because they used to just send celebrities out there to like look ridiculous. Like he did some work here.
Travis Scott looked pretty goddamn ridiculous.
He took a bump.
He
took a bump. All right, well let me go through the bump. Okay. Let's go through the bump. Let's go through what happened. Okay, so Cena is happy to see him. He's like, oh yeah, Travis Scott's
here. Sure, okay.
And okay, so they're gonna like hold Cody Rhodes down, and Travis Scott's gonna hit him, and I think Cody reverses it, like he elbows Cena, and then he crossroads Cena, and then he pins him, and Travis Scott pulls the ref out of the ring. Okay, so there's the first involvement, like cheating. So I guess that's a DQ, really, but okay, it's the main event of WrestleMania.
They don't want to take it on the DQ. Sure.
Let it go, and then Travis Scott hopped over the ring rope, and everyone's like, whoa, okay, that's cool. All right, that's a slick move. All right, So he jumps in and goes face-to-face with Cody. He is hardcore, man. I mean, if he's got balls, what do you want me to say? He tries to swing at Cody. I don't know this guy. He's just a character to me. I'm just rolling with the story here. All right, he gets crossroads. I don't think this looked bad. I think I thought his work was fine, and I think.
Did he have any work to do there? He just had to lay there. Well, what was the? I'm pretty sure Cody did all the work there. All his job was there is to just not get up, and that's all he had to do there. So his work looked great. Okay, yes. If you talk about just laying on the ground, he looked great. He looked great. I agree.
All right. So that's it. So there's no more interference. So the only interference spot in this match was Travis Scott. No Rock. So here comes Cena. He's gonna hit Cody with the belt from behind, right? I guess once Cody turns around, and Cody gets it back from him, and then this is where the important thing happens. This is the crux of the match, where Cody thinks about hitting him with the belt.
Oh, and here's another issue in the match. What the hell?
And then Cena's begging him off.
It made Cody look stupid. I'm sorry, it did. Here it did make him look stupid because there's no reason for him to even be thinking about it. Like, I understand, like, he's a babyface, but Jesus Christ, everything that Cena has done to him, and tried to do to him, everything that started this whole feud, he has every right to hit him with the belt at this point. It just made Cody look really ridiculous and really dumb. And the finish. That's what I had problems with. The finish. The match itself was fine, right up until Travis Scott came out. The match I thought was solid. It was going okay. It was as good as it was going to be. I felt, given that this is really John Cena's. He's a 50-year-old guy. He's not wrestling full time. You're not going to get a 5-star Bret Hart, Steve Austin match here. You're going to get what you're going to get. But the finish was a disaster, I felt.
Okay, so Cody doesn't do it, and then he's like sighs. He goes, dang it, I'm not going to do it. And then Cena kicks him in the balls right there.
Yeah, I would have kicked him in the balls too, honestly, just for being a stupid.
And that was it. Well, he hits him in the head with the belt. So 5 attitude adjustments. I guess that belt is, well, that's okay. In wrestling lore, the belt is a belt shot. A world title belt shot is pretty much going to knock you out, I guess.
But yeah.
I've always thought it was a little silly to me. When they hit him with the belt.
You don't think it would hurt to get hit with the?
No, bro. I think getting thrown off the top rope from to the floor would hurt more than getting hit with the belt. I don't know. It just doesn't look like a menacing weapon to me. It never has since I was a kid. But okay.
Okay.
But regardless, that's another point. So Cena wins. All right. There you go. He wins the WWE Championship.
And that part I was definitely cool with. For booking purposes, that had to happen. But how they got there is where I didn't particularly like. But the fact that Cena won, I was thrilled with. During the match, I was saying, yeah, Cena needs to win. Cena needs to win. Yeah.
Okay, so there goes Cody. Cody's out dejected, and he hasn't been back since because we're doing the aftermath too. But he's been out. He's taking a break. I guess this was too much for him to bear mentally. So
yeah, I think he's
Cody's
taking a break.
gone.
That part is true.
All right, so back to our reviews. I loved it, Robert loved it, and Vlad was the harshest critic. So I guess I'll let Vlad go first, and then Robert can go after.
Well, I think I basically
plus 1 point on our scale, a thumbs up. You liked it, but not a very high score. Go ahead, Vlad.
Yeah.
Sorry about that.
No, it's okay. No, I think I basically already covered why I didn't like it. But when you were going through that finish, just to quickly summarize, it was Travis Scott interfering and not The Rock. I don't mind that Travis Scott was there. I mean, like I said, I don't know this guy. I mean, I hear he does some stupid shit, and he's, I don't know, in his concerts. I hear all these. I don't know anything about this guy. Nothing. I have anything. But the fact that The Rock wasn't there, I think, hurt the situation. He should have been there. He started the whole angle, so he should have been there. And the fact that they had kind of a screwy finish with like Cody not wanting to use the title or hit Cena with the title made no sense. I'm sorry. After everything they've said to each other and done to each other leading up to this, it really made no sense for him not to. Like, what's the deal there? Like, how do you even explain that? You can't. So, yeah, I mean, the finish hurt the match. The booking itself was pretty good as far as Cena winning. Prior to the interference and all that stuff, I thought they were having a very solid match, very good. And the lead up to it was very good, I felt, for the most part. I mean, there was a couple issues here and there, but for the most part, it was really good. So, thumbs up just for the booking and everything else that happened. But I had to take some points off and everything that was wrong with it. And I'll leave it at that.
All right, cool. Robert, the Frozen. By the way, Vlad, I'm sorry. I'm sorry you didn't enjoy it more than that. I'm sorry you didn't have a better WrestleMania experience. But
oh wow, no, that's cool.
I wish you had more fun. But okay, Robert, go ahead.
All right. So I want to start off by saying my rating for this angle, this segment, reflects more so my feelings at the time that I watched it. Okay. I loved it, probably mostly because I was happy that John Cena did win the title. That was like the main reason why. And I thought he was hilarious in the post WrestleMania press conference.
He was.
He was amazing. Okay, but after some time has passed, for me to digest everything that happened in WrestleMania and specifically in this angle, I think my retroactive rating would probably match Vlad's, to be honest with you.
Oh my God!
Because I also think The Rock needed to be there. He had to. I mean, come on. Last year in the Monday Night Raw after WrestleMania, The Rock came up to him and said, "Your story with Roman Reigns has ended. Your story with The Rock has just begun." Right? There was a new story to tell between The Rock and Cody Rhodes, and a lot of that kicked off in Elimination Chamber. This, again, just like what Vlad said, it kicked off this whole angle, right, with John Cena turning. So yes, The Rock really, really needed to be there. So it sucks that he didn't show up. I've heard stuff about why he didn't, but I'm not really going to get into that.
Because we don't know. Because we just don't know.
Yeah, right.
I've heard rumors about drama with Triple H, but just rumors.
But again, I'm not gonna get into that. But it just really I'm judging the product, right, and not the reasons behind it. It sucks that he wasn't there. And Kayan, you mentioned that when Travis Scott came out, he got a big pop. To me, the reason why he got a big pop, and he got a pop from me too, but that's because people thought The Rock was coming out with him.
Yeah, or at least next.
Yeah,
It was a disappointing pop.
yeah,
It was like,
exactly. It was
oh
they were
no.
popping because it wasn't really for Travis Scott. Okay, everybody expected coming out after Travis Scott would be The Rock, and when it turned out that didn't happen, then that there came the disappointment. So it wasn't Travis Scott's appearance that wasn't the problem. It's The Rock that not following him. So um, you got to take that pop that you heard with a grain of salt. That's not what the fans were expecting. Um, so yeah, you know, I
Alright.
loved it at the time, but yeah, looking back, not that great.
You guys just expected more. You were disappointed. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think the way I would put it, with The Rock not being there, like if The Rock was there, it probably would have been like really great. Then I would have given it like a fire rating plus 5, 6, 7 points. But for this, I'll give it 3 points. You know what I mean? So yeah, it could have been better if The Rock was there, sure. Um, I still think The Rock can face Cody at some point. I think he's sending Travis Scott out there. I think they're trying to make it so that there's some connection to The Rock, but he doesn't have to be there a lot of the time. Because I think he mostly doesn't want to be there. Like, I don't think he wants to do that thing he did last year where he's on a lot of shows, you know? So I think they think this WWE thing is like a well-oiled machine and they don't really need The Rock. Maybe once in a blue moon, you know what I mean?
I think I think that begs the question: is does he not want to be there, or do they not want him there? I think that's starting to creep up as people are discussing. Do they actually want him there? Is the question, which is kind of crazy. He's on the board of directors of this company, right? Which is an insane thing to say. But I think I don't want to talk about like all of that specifically because again, we don't know the full details and probably never will. But that's what it seems like because he had to be there. There's no denying that. But I think my other issue outside of that, like what I said, is the finish. I think you guys didn't really talk about like how Cody didn't want to use the belt and how that made no sense. You had to subtract points for that. I mean, you just had to because that's so stupid. It's so stupid it doesn't even make any sense. Like it makes Cody look really dumb. I mean, and that can't happen after the run that he had, unfortunately. But it did happen. So. Yeah, but I'll leave it at that.
Ah, well, he's a great guy. He's not gonna cheat. You're crazy, Vlad. You're crazy. Get out of here. All right, let's move along.
I'm crazy.
Oh, question. Okay, before we move on to this, I had a question. How do you think Cena's reign will end, if it will? How do you think it will end? And then a related question: how would you do it if it's not how you think it's going to end? So I'll start with Robert. Robert, both of those questions, please, however you want to answer them.
He has to drop the belt at some point. I don't see him retiring with the belt. Now the question is to who? Does he drop it back to Cody Rhodes? That's probably what's going to happen. I don't know if it's going to be the final match of his career, you would think that would be a big possibility, or SummerSlam, but that might be a little too soon, right? I mean, this is his first title reign as a heel, so you would want it to be memorable. I don't. A short title reign kind of doesn't make sense, so I don't think he's going to drop it at SummerSlam, but maybe sometime after that. I don't know. Probably he'll drop it to Cody. If he was gonna drop it to Randy Orton, I don't think they would be feuding right now. It's a little too early for that. So I'd say he drops it to Cody.
All right. So is that what you would do? Is that also how you would book it?
Yes, because at some point Cody's got to hit him with that damn belt.
Oh my god. All right, so Robert's final answer, he thinks Cody's going to win it back sometime after SummerSlam before Cena leaves. All right, Vlad, what about you?
Yeah, I kind of agree with Robert there. I think he's going to lose it, probably lose it to Cody. And SummerSlam makes the most sense because that's like the big pay-per-view, one of the bigger ones that they have still left. And I'm also curious, are they going to try to turn Cena back to babyface? And I think, I was saying this right away, but even Cornette now even was saying, like, how is this guy going to turn back? Like, how can he even turn back after everything he's saying? You know? So I don't know. I'm curious. I'm actually more curious about how if they try to turn him back than because he will lose the title. That's just a matter of when they do it. I think Cody at SummerSlam is the best bet. How I would do it, I'd rather he lose it to somebody else, honestly. And I think the person that I'm thinking of is CM Punk. That's who I'd want him to lose to. I think it would be a great thing for Punk. It'd be a decent thing for Cena. And that's how I would book it, at the very least. I'd have...
That's not bad. I like that.
Yeah. Just because I think Cody, I love Cody, but I don't think he really needs the belt. And I think sometimes he's a guy that's probably better chasing. I think it's actually been proven that he's, with this last year as champion, that he's better chasing than actually having the title. So I would have Punk as be the guy that does it. And it could be a SummerSlam match, or they could set up something really special prior to, like, right before Cena leaves. I don't know. It would be around December, I guess, right? That's what he's saying. He said he had like 27 dates left or something. So right, or maybe right in one of the last couple of dates, they could do something special. I don't know, but that's what I would do. I would have Punk be the guy.
All right. So you're also saying sometime after. You said at SummerSlam. Was that your final answer?
Yeah, probably it will be SummerSlam because I don't think they'll push it all the way till December. So I'll say yeah. I would book it as Punk, but it'll probably be Cody.
Cody at SummerSlam. All right. So here's what I want. Not this is separate from everything. What I really would want would be for John Cena to take that WWE title the hell out of here, so we could only have one title. So he could just be the last real champion and the last WWE champion, and take it home with him. And then don't even have a vacant title tournament. Just have it disappear, and have the World Heavyweight title be the only title. But that'll never happen. That's just my dreams. So, okay, forget that. How I think it will end. How I think it will end is, I think, similar to how I would actually end it. And I think it will end on his last date. I think he will face Cody on his last day, and he'll lose it on. And he's not turning back. I don't think there's going to leave that thing you guys are saying about turning back or leaving time or leaving room. I don't think so. I think he's just going to have that match with Cody.
So he'll leave as a heel.
And he's gonna get up, and he's gonna like be beaten, and he's gonna look around the stadium, and the people are still gonna give him a standing O, and that's how it's gonna end. And he'll just say goodbye.
Yeah, I mean that's possible too. He doesn't have to turn back. That's true.
That's how I think it'll end. But that's actually how I would do it too. But one thing that I would change from how WWE I think they're going with, because I think they're just basically going with how Cena, the way he is right now, like they got that black, text. It's just kind of very dark, and and he just has this personality where he's pissed off, right? But I wish he would just come out one time like this. This is how I imagine a bad guy would come out. And if I just want him to develop his character a little bit and be a little more showboaty and flamboyant, maybe a little bit like wear this thing, What is this white thing called? It's like a sash or something.
Actually, I don't know what that is.
What the hell is that? Why did Hogan wear that? But it's awesome. I want one of those.
Why didn't you pull up the image when Cena was in Bray Wyatt's crazy match and he had the NWO shirt and he was you should remember. So
yeah, no, I do remember that. No, that's true. That would have been a good one to bring up. I don't want him to wear an NWO shirt, but I do want him to start acting a little more devious, I guess, a little more like happy to be a heel somehow, like a little, I don't know. I just think they should twist his character around a little bit and not just kind of make this the character that we're gonna get for like 26 dates, where he just cuts a promo and that's it.